Good morning to all. So welcome at ICI classes. We are in CA Foundation classes. The topic which is running is not-for-profit organization for CA Foundation classes. So basically, beta already discussed about some basic concepts of this chapter. Will you please tell me, is that clear or not? And second thing is, I also like to see how many are present. So send you a good morning so that we can understand that how many are present in the classes. Welcome to IC classes. Very good. Gunjan, Atharva, Kanhaiya, Ishan, Sonali, Shurinder, Bhumika, Manvi, Bhargavi, Himanshi, Vibhu, Ziba, Keshav, Sonali, Vegdevi, Sudhanshu, Abhinav, Sarvaswar. Very good name. Rabish, Kanhaiya, Manish, Anu, Jia, Vibika, Divani, everyone, and many more. Good morning to all of you, beta. Good morning to all of you. Those who have not sent their presence, will you please send so that I can understand how many are present? Even serial number is not coming here, but name is very good, and hundreds of names helps us to understand that hundreds of students are here to listen from us, and it gives energy to us, and that energy will be converted into the concepts, the logics which will be required for the teaching. Teacher always revert with the energy if you will come back with the energy. So good morning, sir. My doubt is on page number 9.5, para number second last line. What does it mean? It is always in debit since it is made up to cash in hand and bank. Doesn't matter. We'll see whatever the query is. Just wait and watch. Let's start with the queries. (9.5) page number. Maximum queries will be resolved when we will do some technical question, which I'll discuss with you, which I'll do for you. No worry. आज का लेक्चर बहुत बढ़िया होने वाला है. Today's lecture will be the most interesting lecture, as we have already started with the not-for-profit undertaking, and that chapter, not-for-profit undertaking, is a very important chapter from examination point of view. So I like to cover each and every technical aspects of this chapter also, in addition to the simple concepts. Simple concepts I have already discussed in our previous lectures. So today I'll touch some technical aspect with a very simple approach, with a very easy approach. But one thing is very important. If you will go with me, if you will note down whatever I'll suggest you, whatever I'll give you the guidance, it will be really very easy to clear the CA Foundation exam. Because this is my dream that all of you must clear with the flying colors in CA Foundation, and tell your results to me that we are clear and we will meet again in CA Inter. So that will be a better or good for me, because exams are very near now. If you will see, it is September which is going on, and normally what happens in September at our time, or since the day I am teaching, normally we are saying that the September and October months are for revision, so that we can appear into November with a very good system, with a very good approach. So I think your syllabus must be covered at the earliest, and then you will have to go for the revision. It is not the most important thing which I would like to discuss with you. Is today is not the last lecture of not-for-profit undertakings, as I know it very well that we have devoted more time on final accounts for manufacturing and non-manufacturing entities. Due to that reason, what happened, the time of not-for-profit has been reduced. So to cover that, to give it proper time, because my approach is very simple. I am not going to go for a concept that if time is limited, I will not have to cover the basics, I will not have to cover for the advanced topics. My concept is very clear that I will have to teach each and everything starting from basic to advanced in a manner so that you can clear the exams. You need not to study it once again from other teacher. That is my main target. So for that sake, I requested to ICI, they have allowed me to give one more lecture to you on Tuesday. That is on, what is the date on Tuesday? Today is 10th. It will be 13th maybe. Yeah, it will be 13th. So on 13th same time, means the next lecture will be of not profit. Same lecture will be same topic will be there. Then further chapter will be started only on Thursday by the new faculty, because this is my last lecture, this is my last chapter which I'll take today as well as on Tuesday. So there's no worry, dude. You will have to be very 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 simple and confident that we can do it. So that is not a problem. How are you, Swire? Fine beta. Illustration number 2. Sorry, illustration number 8 and treatment of current account. Very good. This is a good thing that you are giving me the doubts. It means for you have already done it, and that is the thing which I required from your side beta. सत श्री अकाल सर जी, अकाउंट्स का पेपर है 14th December. Very good. Obviously then we need 2 months for revision beta. So complete the whole syllabus up to the end of this month and then go for the revision for September and October and November, and then give exam on in December. That will be a better option. I have not seen the date sheet. Date sheet is normally seen by number of students. Yeah, 9.5. Page number 9.5 is there. Let's start better. 9.5 para number 2nd. Okay. Yeah, here it is mentioned the receipt and payment account, last line. So this is a query. The balance of the account at the end of a period represents a difference between the amount of cash received and paid up. It is always in debit side. It is made up of cash in and cash at bank. I already discussed with you beta that receipt and payment account is an account in which the closing balance will be the balance of cash and bank, whatever is left with us. But this is not right that it is always in debit side. Let it be very much clear, because I already discussed with you, it may be in credit side also. In case cash at bank is in negative, cash in hand is in positive, just assume that basically I am not going to say that the ICI is wrong, because whatever mentioned, it is just a viewpoint of one teacher, but whomsoever has written these notes. So my knowledge is my knowledge. I can't take it on credit from someone else. I can't गो फॉर द कंसेप्ट कि भी दूसरे ने ये कहा है तो मुझे भी ये बात माननी है. अगर लॉजिक है तो है, प्रैक्टिकल बात कर रहे हैं ना हम लोग बेटा. तो प्रैक्टिकली व्हाट हैपन, मान लीजिए आपके पास सीसी लिमिट चल रही है, तो सीसी लिमिट में व्हाट हैपन, व्हेनेवर द सीसी लिमिट इज देयर, देयर इज अ डेबिट, देयर इज अ नेगेटिव बैलेंस, because CC limit means for that we have taken loan from the bank. So in that case what happened, if we have taken loan from the bank and the balance at bank is equal to 1 lakh payable, so this is a negative balance. Balance at cash, balance of cash is worth rupees 20,000. So it means for closing balance will be 80,000 negative. So this will be in reverse side. Obviously this will be a reverse balance. Okay, so this closing balance is negative, hence it is taken on reverse side beta. Is that clear? So it may be debit or credit both. I think this is clear to you. Next. Date sheet वाली point हम नहीं करेंगे. Yes sir, all topics are clear. Good, very good. It is clear. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Yeah, there's a query. Illustration number 6, please solve. Don't worry, I'm going to do one thing for you. After general queries, I'll solve one full-fledged question for you so that you can understand each and everything in a technical manner. Opening inventory and opening stock are different or same? Same beta. Opening inventory or opening stock are seen. Can you explain illustration number 3rd, 8th, and 10th? Obviously, someone has asked 3rd, someone has asked 4th, someone has asked 6th, someone has asked 8th, 10th. So there's no worry. Everyone has, well, all queries are there. So from 2nd to 10th, all questions required to be solved as per the demand of students. So there's no point of discussion there. I'm not attend the previous 2 classes. Can I understand this session? It will be better today. You will have to understand it. You have to listen it. Whatever is left, whatever you think that this is not clear to you, Vidoni, you may do one thing. You will have to see the last lecture also. In the last lecture, mid lecture means after the break in last lecture, I have started this chapter. So after taking this session, you must have to go for that also. It will be easy for you to understand. Many queries are there. I'm not going to take beta in this way. It will be a better option that I may do one thing good for you. Grant is revenue or capital. I would like to cover the chapter according to my requirement because that will be a good thing for you. Let's start with that. Yesterday we have left at some point. I would like to go forward from there. Yes. Yesterday we have discussed about the concept of subscription or the expenses as well as the income. So today I'm going to cover it by way of account also, because account preparation is also required in these cases. That is a demand in the question. So that is also required. So let's understand it by way of a presentation. Yes. You may do one thing. Whenever there's you may note down the format. That will be easy for you to understand. Yes. Like any income account. Income account. So we have discussed some technical points yesterday in our previous lecture. Means we have discussed that outstanding or accrued income at the end will be added. Accrued income at the, that will be depending upon the case that what you are preparing. That is also a point. Okay, just a moment. One thing I have discussed with you, that how we will prepare receipt and payment account, how we will calculate receipt and payment account amount from income and expenditure account amount. Means how a amount received is converted into due and due is converted into receipt. That I have discussed with you better. So while preparing account, the same concept is applied. While preparing account, there is not, it is not difficult or it is not different. It will remain the same. Just you have to understand the journal entries. So what is the journal entry? Whenever we are talking about any amount paid during the year, amount paid or received. Here we are talking about amount received. Okay. So amount received during the year. Entry is very simple. Cash oblique bank debit to income. So this is a routine entry. Normally this balance is available with us, or if it is not available, we have to calculate it obviously. Then the entry for this is the first entry, I would like to say. Second entry is at the end of the year. This is past whenever amount is received, means during the year. Remaining entries are normally easy and understandable. Whenever amount is due but not received, means amount income is due but not received. So we are passing a journal entry, accrued income account debit to income account. So this is what due at the end. Now what we have to do in the next year, when we will have to brought it forward, will pass another entry. So that is called due at beginning. Due at beginning means opening balance. In that case, we have to pass reverse entry. So what is the reverse entry? Income account debit to accrued income. Entry number 1, 2, 3. Entry number 4, pre-received. Number of time we have some income which is pre-received, that is received in advance. So if it is at the end, means at the end of the year some amount is received in advance for the next year, then we have to pass a journal entry. Income account debit to pre-received income. And obviously fifth entry is regarding the advance or pre-received at beginning. That will be reverse of it. So what it will be? Income account debit to pre-received income. Mock test comes in which month? I doesn't know which type of mock tests are there. Sir, please use word advance and outstanding. Accrued में confusion होता है. Basically, whenever there is a confusion, the word CA comes to us. Chartered accountants are never confused, so that you have to keep it into your mind. The issue is this, because number of times in your exam you will get the word accrued. So I'm using the word accrued, and also in case of income, the right word is accrued and pre-received, not the advance or the outstanding. Advance and outstanding words are important for expenses, are used for expenses, whereas accrued and pre-received is used for income. So that I am, due to that I am using. Even then, it is up to your understanding. You need not to worry, but remember it that it is to be used. So number 3 entry is passed on at the beginning of the year. Basically, issue is this, that whenever we are making adjustment, we are passing these entries. So when it will be passed, that is the concept. This is passed during the year, already mentioned to you. This will be passed during the year. This will be passed at the end of the year. No, when it will be generalized, it will be passed at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year. Again, this is passed at the end of the year. This is beginning of the year. So accordingly, dates will be used. Sir, I'm not attending the previous lecture. That I can't help you now. You can do one thing. Whatever class you have not taken, you may do one thing. You may take those lectures, because those lectures are available at YouTube channel. You may try to find those lectures from the YouTube or from your app, wherever it is available, and you have to do that. ड्यू एट बिगिनिंग में क्या एंट्री किया? ड्यू एट बिगिनिंग में इनकम अकाउंट डेबिट टू एक्रूड इनकम. बेटा, व्हाट इज द नेचर ऑफ प्रोविजन फॉर बैड डेट्स? अब ये कहां से आ गया बेटा? कैश बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट टू इनकम अकाउंट एट द एंड इफ एक्रूड इनकम. वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड सर. प्लीज रिसीव्ड एट द एंड. सर, you have not reversed it. What is not reversed? Okay, I have not reversed it. Yes, yes, yes. This is a part. This is the thing which is required always. आप ये भी कह सकते हो कि मेरी गलती से आप लोगों की नॉलेज की टेस्टिंग हो जाती है. वेरी गुड. So this entry should be, rectify this entry beta. This is reverse of it. It will be pre-received debit to income account. So it is pre-received income which is to be debited. Good, very good. What's the name of the guy? We have not reversed. Aditya Darshan, very good beta. 5 entries not reverse. Tanishk, very good. Sir, means accrued means due. Exactly, accrued means due. Ishan, very good. सर आपने प्री रिसीव्ड एट एंड एकता वेरी गुड. चलो जिन्होंने करी है वो सभी पढ़ रहे हैं जो ना पता लग रहा है. वेरी गुड. प्री रिसीव्ड डेबिट टू इनकम अकाउंट. I think these entries are clear. You have noted it down. So on the basis of these entries, you have to prepare this account. See, in this case, what he has demanded. Illustration number 2, he has demanded amount to be credited to income and expenditure account. If he has demanded only this thing, I am not interested to prepare a complete working like this, various accounts like this, subscription outstanding account. I am not required to going for that. I'll do this only. And this already has been discussed in our last lecture. Here, subscription received in advance is given to you, received in cash is given to you, beta. It includes 1600 for 2019. So amount to be transferred to income and expenditure to be calculated. This means for the amount which belongs to 2020 will be entered here only. So if it includes 1600, it is to be deducted because this is for last year. 600 for 2021. This is also to be deducted because it includes only for the current year. 3000 still to be received. So this is to be added. This is 3000 is to be added. 1600 and 600 is to be deducted. Your answer will be there, beta. Now we'll pass some entries for expenses also in the same way. For any expense, how journal entries will be made? First entry will be expense paid during the year. This entry will be during the year. An entry will be very simple. Everyone knows this entry, expense account debit to cash oblique bank. Next entry will be regarding outstanding expenses at the end. What will be the journal entry? Send me the entry fast. अगर एग्जाम में सब्सक्रिप्शन अकाउंट बनाने के लिए बोला जाएगा तो हमें अकाउंट बनाना होगा. आपके फॉर्मेट से कर सकते हैं. No, no. When account is demanded, you will have to prepare the account, beta. It is required. But when account is not demanded, you need not to prepare account. Okay. So what will be the entry for outstanding expenses at the end? Send me fast. Waiting for your entry. मैंने ना टाइमर लगा देना. आपके पास है 1 मिनट. वन मिनट में जो लोग एंट्रीज भेज देंगे मैं मान लूंगा कि उनको एंट्री आती है. बाकी लोगों के लिए मैं कुछ नहीं मान सकता. एक्सपेंस टू एक्सपेंस अकाउंट. चलो जिन्होंने ये एंट्री भेज दी वो नेक्स्ट एंट्री करेंगे. दैट विल बी द 1 मिनट चल रहा है अभी. आउटस्टैंडिंग expense at beginning means it belongs to expense of last year. So इसकी एंट्री भी भेजनी है सभी ने. टाइम चल रहा है आपका. देखो टाइम खत्म होने वाला है. ये अर्शदीप आपकी एंट्री गलत है बेटा. जिसकी गलत है उसकी बता रहा हूं. उसका रीजन है ताकि उनको पता लग जाए कि उनकी गलत है. मोस्टली की तो ठीक ही आनी चाहिए. भूमिका आपकी एंट्री ओके है. वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. 1 मिनट में बहुत लोगों ने भेज दी. अब नेक्स्ट 1 मिनट स्टार्ट होता है किसके लिए? नेक्स्ट एंट्री के लिए. कईयों ने नेक्स्ट एंट्री भी भेज दी हुई है. दैट इज वेरी गुड. बेटा accrued expense कोई word नहीं होता. Gowda, M Gowda, there is no word like accrued expense. You will have to use the word outstanding expense only. But your entry is also, this entry is for the next part. Whatever entry Gowda you have sent, this entry is for the next year, means for the beginning. Okay. Income is not a part because we are not dealing with income, Gunjan. Gunjan, we are dealing with expense. So income can't be debited. अगर किसी का नाम बोला जाए तो घबराना नहीं है बेटा, वो बल्कि बार बार क्वेरी पूछो, उसका नाम आ गया अब तो बड़ी बात होगी. ज्योति, योर एंट्री इज रॉन्ग. अर्शदीप, योर एंट्री इज रॉन्ग. दिवेश, योर एंट्री इज रॉन्ग. ये सब्सक्रिप्शन कहां से आ गया दिवेश? सो दोनों एंट्रीज में करवाने जा रहा हूं. Whenever expense is due at the end which is not yet received, entry is very simple. Expense is to be debited as it is an expense which is to be due to outstanding expense, because this expense is due but not paid. So this is a creditor. This will become our creditor. So creditor is credited, amount is due but not paid. Now in the next year, what do you have to do? In the next year we have to reverse the entry. Why? This is just passed for the last date only, so that we can keep proper record of the expenses which are due, total expenses incurred during the year, not paid, incurred, because this will tell us these are the expenses paid by us during the year. Like rent is rupees 10,000 per month, we have paid it for 10 months, then it will tell us that the 1 lakh is an expense, which is purely wrong. Actually 2 months rent is not paid, so that will be debited by passing this entry, but this will also become your creditor. Now in the next year, at the beginning of the year, this entry will be reversed. So whenever any expense is available with you at the beginning of the year which is outstanding during the last year, so that will be reversed by passing a journal entry, outstanding expense account debit, because whenever it will be paid in the next year, entry will be passed as simple as that, expense to cash. Outstanding expense account debit to expense account. So this will be reversed in the next year. So these are the two entries बेटा. चलो जिनकी गलत है आप अपने आप चेक कर लो, जिनकी सही है वो भी चेक कर लो. तब तक मैंने नाम से बताया था, मैं छोड़ रहा हूँ इस पॉइंट को. एक्सपेंस टू आउटस्टैंडिंग समय लग गया, क्यों डाली? आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेंस टू एक्सपेंस क्यों डाली? समय लग गया होगा. चलो अभी हम डालने जा रहे हैं प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस. प्रीपेड एक्सपेंसेस एट द एंड. इसकी एंट्री आपने मुझे भेजनी है. अगेन 1 मिनट स्टार्ट्स. फास्ट भेजनी है, टाइम नहीं लगाना. टाइम बीत रहा है. फास्ट फास्ट, जल्दी जल्दी जल्दी. Test yourself. Could you do it? Very good. Raghav is first. Shah has been declared first. अभिषेक जी आपकी तो पुरानी एंट्री आती जा रही है भैया, अब नई एंट्री पे आ जाओ. पिछली तो मैंने लिख के भेज दिया आपको. बीबू पांडे गुड. सेकंड उस्ताद. थर्ड वेरी गुड. एंट्री इज आल्सो करेक्ट. देविंदर वेरी गुड, योर एंट्री इज करेक्ट. गुरलीन, जिनकी करेक्ट हो गई है वो नेक्स्ट एंट्री डाल के मुझे भेजो. निराली करेक्ट. हिमांशी करेक्ट. केशव करेक्ट. एकता करेक्ट. भूमिका करेक्ट. जीबा करेक्ट. साक्षी करेक्ट. जिया करेक्ट. राघव करेक्ट. राघव, योर एंट्री इज रॉन्ग. प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस टू कैश विल बी द रॉन्ग एंट्री. राघव शाह तो पहले फर्स्ट आया था बेटा, पहले फर्स्ट आए थे, अब आपने गलत एंट्री भेजी. मोनू सिंह करेक्ट. मानवी करेक्ट. प्रतिंध्या रॉन्ग. केशव करेक्ट. बहुतों की करेक्ट है, बहुतों की कुछ की रॉन्ग भी आ रही है, मैं देख रहा हूँ. तो अब मुझे लगता है कि ये दोनों एंट्रीज आप लोगों को टाइम ओवर हो गया है. सो एट द एंड के लिए एंट्री क्या होगी? वेरी सिंपल एंट्री. एज एक्सपेंस इज ऑलरेडी पेड इन एडवांस, so the person to whom the payment is will be made will become my debtor. So to make him debtor, what we are passing? Prepaid expense account debit. This becomes our debtor because it is a representative personal account, so it will appear in the current assets to expense account expense will be reduced with that amount, because actual expenses paid by us during the year is 1,40,000, but expense of current year is only 1,20,000. So 20,000 is paid in advance to someone, so that is our asset, so it will be debited to asset account, and simultaneously expense will be reduced by crediting it, so expense will be deducted at the beginning. If prepaid expense is available at the beginning, that means for this expense is prepaid in the last year, so it will become an expense of current year. So any expense of current year will be debited in the current year. Expense account debit to prepaid expense. So prepaid expense amount is appearing in your opening entry. It is to be reversed because that is not to be kept with us. So expense to prepaid expense will be the entry to be passed at the beginning of the year. The concept is very simple. Whatever entry is passed at the closing, you have to reverse that in the next year only. Nothing else is to be done. Sure. On this basis, you can prepare any account beta. If you will see, if any expense account is to be prepared, if you will see if any expense account is to be prepared, how it will be prepared, you may see. Dates, I am not taking the column. I'm just doing it for you in a simple and easy way because time is less and working is more. So whenever expense is paid, entry is very simple. The entry is expense account debit to cash oblique bank. Then whatever the outstanding expenses at the end, what you will do, you will pass an entry expense account debit to outstanding expense. Then it will be, if there is any opening expenses outstanding with us, by outstanding expenses, an entry will be passed. If any prepaid expenses are there, we will pass an entry by prepaid expenses. If any closing, if this was the closing, if there was any opening prepaid expenses are there, to prepaid expenses. So this will be the account. In that you may calculate anything. If 4 informations are given, 1 is not given, you can get it. If 3 information is given, then 1 we may calculate it. Means anything can be calculated as a balance sheet figure. Except this, other accounts are outstanding expenses account, which may be prepared. Simple way is there. First of all, there will be opening balance in it of the last year. Whatever the outstanding expenses of last year is there, that will be brought forward as the opening balance in it, and the entry will be by balance brought down, because that will be a liability with us, by balance brought down. This will be the opening balance. Then we will pass an entry as a expense account debit to outstanding expense, outstanding expense account debit to expense. So this is the opening reversal. Then we will pass an entry expense account debit to outstanding expense, that is by expense. It will be carried down as a closing balance, to balance carried down. So whatever the opening balance and closing balance is there, that is brought down and carried down. and then two entries are there which will be passed to expense and by expense. This is a way how we prepare outstanding expenses account beta. Anything can be a balance sheet figure, Manvi, in expense account, whomsoever is not given. So if amount paid during the year is not given, you can get it as a balance sheet figure. Okay, one entry is left, expense. That is expense account debit, P&L account debit to expenses account. So entry will be by profit or loss. So this may be a balance sheet figure by P&L account. This is the amount which will be transferred to income and expenditure account. So you can write here income and expenditure because now at time we are using the word income and expenditure account. Otherwise we are using the word profit or loss account. So by income and expenditure account. So this is to receipt and payment account, you can say. So this is the amount of receipt and payment account. And this amount is the amount of income and expenditure. Please note it down. Did you graduated? Khatun, why it is required? I think these are clear to you. Note it down with you. Then we will prepare prepaid expenses account. Prepaid expenses account. So this account is also a good account, but having a very simple treatment, nothing typical. First of all, particular amount, you must have to write it down. Outstanding expenses are representative personal account. Outstanding expenses, prepaid expenses, pre-received expense incomes, accrued incomes, all are representative personal account. Their nature is debit the receiver, credit the giver. That we are doing in our entries also. Outstanding expenses means expenses which are due but not paid. Like in our previous example, I have already mentioned you that I have taken a place on rent and the rent is 10,000 rupees per month. Now during the year I have paid a rent of 10 months. So the entry will be rent account debit to cash that we have passed. Now at the end of the year I have checked that the rent of 2 months is still outstanding. So for 2 months I'll pass an entry by way of this is outstanding rent. The rent of that 2 months is outstanding. How to get it? 10,000 rupees per month is the amount. I'll multiply it with 2. I'll get 20,000. So what will be the entry? Expense account debit because debit all expenses and losses. Then outstanding expense account will be created because we have to create the creditor. Whomsoever giving these services to us will be created. Create the giver we can say. So these services are provided by whom? By a person named as creditor. So creditor will be represented by the name outstanding expenses account. All the accounts, outstanding expense, prepaid expense, accrued income, pre-received income, all are representative personal accounts, my dear. Prepaid expense is an asset. So it will be brought down as a two balance brought down. This will be from the opening entry. This will be from the opening entry, which you are always passing assets account debit to liabilities account to capital account. Then this will be reversed by expense account. This is the entry which you will pass at the beginning of the year. Then you will pass an entry at the end of the year, prepaid expense account debit to expense account. This is the prepaid expenses out available at the end of the year, which will be brought forward to the next year by balance carried down. Khatun, is that clear? Otherwise, I have graduated from GGN Khalsa College, Ludhiana. Expense have debit balance. What is the nature of? I think everything is clear to every student. Please note it down so that I can proceed further. Let's go forward. Chalo. Abhi, I think everything is clear to everyone. All accounts are clear. Yeah, you may also note down these accounts. Just like expense account, this account will be of the same sense income account. You may note down its pro forma also if you need it. That will be also in the same way. Any income account have the same pro forma, just like expenses account, if you will see. Income account, whenever income is received, entry is by bank or by cash. Then any income which is due but not received, that is called by accrued income. By accrued income, this is income at the end of the year. Then any income which is received, which is accrued in the last year but not received in the last year, so that will be reversed to accrued income. Then pre-received income is there. Pre-received income of the last year will be brought forward by passing a journal entry by pre-received income. This is opening. This is close. This is also opening. Then to pre-received income at the end, that will be entered here. So finally, whatever is the balance of income account, that will go to income and expenditure account. To income and expenditure account. So this is the amount which will go to income and expenditure. And this may be a balance figure, or this may be a balance figure. This is the amount which will go to receipt and payment account. But these are very technical. This can be prepared. This will be prepared only when it is specifically demanded in the question. So why outstanding is treated as liability and prepaid is an asset? Because outstanding meant for the amount which is due but not actually paid. अगर हमने किसी को पैसे देने हैं तो वो हमारी लाइबिलिटी होती है, आप सभी को पता है. और इट इज अ क्रेडिटर ना, क्रेडिटर इज अवर लाइबिलिटी. प्रीपेड क्या है? अगर किसी को एडवांस में पेमेंट देते हैं तो किसी को एडवांस में पेमेंट देते हैं तो वो हमारा डेटर बन जाता है. अगर डेटर है तो वो मेरा एसेट है. समझना. कॉलेज में एग्जाम, सीए एग्जाम से बाद में होते हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है बेटा. सीए, आईसीआई एंड कॉलेज doesn't consult with each other while preparing your date sheet. So this is all your headache how to manage it. IC is not going to help you, or college is not going to help you. In this, all plus will be in debit side and all minus will be in credit side. Exactly beta, that I am saying again and again. By accrued income के बाद क्या लिखा है? By accrued income के बाद लिखा है end, means which is at the end of the year. So we can also write by receipt and payment account when income and expenditure account actually paid or received. Exactly, beta. There's no problem. In the same way, two more accounts are there. Accrued income account, like outstanding expenses account, but it will be reversed to that. These are the common for all incomes now, all revenue incomes, I would like to say. So accrued income is our asset, and all assets have debit balance. So two balance brought down. It will be opening balance. It will be reversed by income account. Then during the year, whatever income is earned by us, but not received to us, that will be generalized as accrued income account debit to income account. So here we will have to pass an entry. Accrued income account debit to income account. Okay, and this will be a entry to be passed here to income. So it will be by balance carried on. Then pre-received income account is there. Space is less, so I'm just not going to write the name of this account. The name of the account is pre-received income account. So it is a liability, hence by balance brought down, reversed in the next year to income account, opening, then by income account. This is closing. Balance sheet figure is to balance carried on. All basics are now very easy, sir. सर क्या आपको पता है कि ये फाउंडेशन के एग्जाम फॉर्म कब आएंगे? I have not checked it, beta. You may please. The concept is it normally comes 2 months before that. So for November it comes in 2 to 3 months before that. So it may have to come in September or October. So you have to check it out from the IC website. That will be a better option. I am not the concerned person for that. हमारे पास टाइम ही नहीं होता बेटा ये चीजें चेक करने का ना, हमारे पास और ही काम बहुत ज्यादा है भगवान की दया से. You're already very much busy in many other works. चलो, is that clear to everyone? So you made it easy. Thank you बेटा. आपने एनर्जी दी कि हाँ जी बढ़िया करवा दो तो हो गया. एनर्जी नहीं दोगे तो कहाँ से हो जाएगा? ये तो आप लोगों की एनर्जी है जो आप मुझे दे रहे हो और मैं कर पा रहा हूँ. 14 सितंबर से है. ये कुछ बच्चों ने बताया कि 14 सितंबर से आप लोगों के जो एग्जामिनेशन फॉर्म है वो आ रहे हैं, तो आप लोग उसको चेक कर लीजिएगा. Accrued income account basically it's an asset account. I've already explained it by way of journal entry, beta. You may please refer the journal entries which I have discussed with you. This is just a posting of journal entry. To balance brought down is done because it is an asset brought forward from the last year, so I have done it like this. कि आपको पता है हम लोग एक एंट्री डालते हैं ओपनिंग, उस एंट्री के बारे में मैं बता रहा था आपको. हमारी एक एंट्री होती है ऑल एसेट्स डेबिटेड, ऑल लाइबिलिटीज क्रेडिटेड टू कैपिटल. ये एंट्री ना हम लोग हर साल ओपनिंग में डालते हैं. दिस इज ओपनिंग एंट्री. और क्लोजिंग एंट्री क्या रहती है? इसी तरह क्लोजिंग एंट्री रहती है जो हम डालते हैं. तो ये ओपनिंग एंट्री जो हम डाल देते हैं ना, इस एंट्री की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ. ये एंट्री आप लोगों ने डाली होगी जिसकी वजह से एसेट का बैलेंस डेबिट होगा और ब्रॉड फॉरवर्ड होगा. ये देखो ना, वही मैंने ब्रॉड डाउन कर लिया. अब ये हम जनरलाइजेशन के थ्रू इसको रिवर्स कर देते हैं, तो बाय इनकम कर दिया मैंने। उसके बाद हमने साल के एंड में, एट द एंड ऑफ द ईयर, जो हमारी इनकम एक्रूड है उसके लिए एंट्री डालनी है, एक्रूड इनकम टू इनकम, और देन उसको कैरी फॉरवर्ड कर लेना नेक्स्ट ईयर के लिए, बाय बैलेंस कैरी फॉरवर्ड। थोड़ी सी मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी। ये फाउंडेशन के एग्जाम फॉर्म स्टार्ट हो गए हैं और एग्जाम डेट भी आ गई है। हाँ, वही बता रहे थे बच्चे, 14 सितंबर बेटा। कंसेप्ट सर क्लियर, वेरी गुड। लेट्स गो फॉरवर्ड, लेट्स डू सम क्वेश्चंस बेटा। बहुत टाइम लग गया हमारा इस पे। अभी हम कुछ क्वेश्चंस करते हैं अच्छे अच्छे। देखो, सेकंड और थर्ड क्वेश्चन आपका क्लियर हो गया है, आई एज्यूम्स। ठीक है, थोड़ा सा ये स्पेशल I would like to discuss with you something technical regarding some particular items like donation. So, what is donation? Donation means for any amount which is received in advance. Vinodin, I doesn't know when the online classes will end. You may please check the schedule, if any given by ICA. So, what is donation? Donation is basically a revenue income, but if donation is for some specific purpose means for they are giving donation for construction of building only, then it is not a revenue income. Then it is a capital receipt. All you have to keep it into your mind. All you have to keep it into your mind that whenever there is a revenue income or expense, it will go to income and expenditure account, just like profit and loss. Whenever there is a capital receipt or payment, it will go to balance sheet. Yes, in receipt and payment account, all revenue and capital receipts and payments will be entered in receipt and payment account. So three important points which you have to keep it into your mind. I'll come to the illustrations better. It means for if there is any specific donation, that means for it is a capital receipt. If there is a capital receipt, it is our liability. Hence go to liability side of balance sheet. If it is a revenue receipt, then it will go to income side of your income and expenditure. If you are preparing receipt and payment account, then whether it is a capital receipt or revenue receipt, both will be entered. This is the concept behind it. नोट करो बेटा फटाफट। फास्ट नोट करो, फास्ट। यही यहां पर लिखा हुआ है, आप इस चीज को चेक कर लीजिएगा। And normally, in case of capital receipt or capital payment, word is used that is funds. Already mentioned that the term fund is strictly applicable to the amount collected for a special purpose when these are invested. Like scholarship के लिए अगर आपको कोई पेमेंट आई है, if any amount is received for scholarship particularly, it will go to scholarship fund in liability side. If any amount is received for distribution of prizes, it will go to prize fund. If any amount is received for construction of building, it will go to building fund. Whenever any payment is made out of this scholarship, then this scholarship will be reduced. Then that payment will be reduced from that scholarship fund. When prizes are actually distributed, whatever expenses are incurred on distribution of prizes, that will be deducted from the prize fund. उसे prize fund में से deduct करो. number of times he says we doesn't receive cash. Instead, a donor may gives us something as a readily encashable asset, means which the asset which can be encashed anytime. In that case, you will have to value that particular asset, and whatever the value is there, that must be credited to the fund for which the amount has been donated, and that particular asset will be shown, that particular asset will be shown in the asset side of the balance sheet. Next is entrance and admission fees. In routine, whatever entrance fees or admission fees is received to us, that means for it will be received only once in the life. What it means for, a person is interested to join our club, our school, our college, our whole, whatever the organization is there, like you are interested to get admission in a school. What happens? School says you have to pay admission fees, but the admission fees is normally paid only at the time of admission at the first instance. In future years, that admission fees is not payable. So due to that reason, because this amount is received only once in the life, it will be treated as a capital receipt. If it is to be received every year, like in schools, what happens? They are charging 50,000 rupees from you at the time of first time admission, and then they are saying every year you have to pay 25,000 also. Then there is a problem, because in that case they are not treating it as a one-time income. They are normally treating it as a revenue income, because they are charging it every year. So the difference is only in the first year you have to pay 50,000, in the future year you have to pay 25,000 per annum. So what we can do, 25,000 per annum which you have to pay every year is a revenue income. Whatever 20,000 is 25,000 additional amount is paid, which is to be paid only once in the life, that will be treated as a capital receipt. That we can do only. So any receipt which is received to us once in the life, like life membership fees, if a person has paid us the life membership fees, so that life membership fees is paid only once in the life, so that meant for it is a capital receipt. Otherwise, it will be specifically mentioned in the question that how it will be treated. If he says that the admission fees or life membership fees is proportionately treated as a revenue and proportionately treated as a capital, then we will do the same. Then he will tell us better. Subscription meant for the income which is to be received every year. It is a regular income. It is a revenue income. But if he says it is a capital, you may. Otherwise, in routine, subscription is a revenue income. Entrance fees or admission fees or life membership fees is a capital income. Donation is a revenue income. Next. A good point is given to you. Life membership fees, it is a non-recurring, it is directly added to capital fund or a general fund. Is that clear? For adjusting lump sum subscription collected from the members, if you have to take a life membership fees separately and subscription separately, then there's no problem. Subscription is a revenue income, life membership is a capital income added to capital fund. But in case he says, if you are interested to be a member of our organization, I am giving you two offers. First is you may pay us a annual subscription of rupees 20,000 per annum, or you may pay it for life, full life, collectively as 2 lakhs. In that case, this is not a life membership fees. This is basically a collective payment of subscription. In that case, when 2 lakh will be received, it will be treated as a capital receipt, but it will be allocated. It will be allocated as a subscription every year. Means every year 20,000 rupees will be transferred to revenue income, to subscription every year, and within 10 years it will be finished. Means at the end of first year, out of 2 lakh, 20,000 will be treated as a revenue income, and 1,80,000 will be a capital receipt. Next year, out of 1,80,000, 20,000 will further be transferred to revenue or subscription, 160 will be shown in balance sheet. Next year, 20 will be shown in as a revenue income. 140 will be shown in balance sheet. Next year, 20,000 further will be shown in as a subtraction in revenue income. 1,20,000 will be shown in balance sheet, and it will continue. What is fund-based accounting? Accounts is really very interesting subject, Peter. Any amount received for any particular purpose will be a liability. Mohan Singh, very simple. If life membership fees is received in addition to the subscription fees, which is to be received by us, then there is no problem. But this is just for the discussion. But actually, in questions, this type of technical problem will not come. In question, he will himself tell you what to do. So whatever he will say, you will have to do it. Don't take it too seriously. This is just a logic. Whenever we are going to do it practically, then this type of problems will arise. Otherwise, there is no such problem. I have already mentioned you have to read these concepts. Legacy is also a capital receipt. Entrance fees is also a capital receipt. Okay, endowment fund donation. It means for, this is a donation which is for a specific purpose. So this is also a capital receipt. Exactly, बेटा. ब्रेक का टाइम हो गया बेटा. बच्चे कह रहे हैं ब्रेक दो. अभी 10 मिनट रुक जाओ बेटा, ब्रेक दे देंगे आपको. अभी तो एनर्जी है आप में. सेल ऑफ ओल्ड न्यूज़पेपर आपका रेवेन्यू इनकम है. ओल्ड फिक्स्ड एसेट सेल इज ए कैपिटल इनकम. ऑनरेरियम इज ए रेवेन्यू इनकम. What is honorarium? Honorarium means for if I am going somewhere, just like here, I am delivering a lecture for you. I am not paid any salary for this. ICA is paying me honorarium. Honorarium means they are just giving me an honor. Okay, तो किसी को ओनर देना, किसी को एज ए गेस्ट बुलाना, वो लेक्चर देते हैं और लेक्चर के बदले में आपने उनको कुछ पेमेंट कर दी. तो पहले कोई रेट फिक्स नहीं किया, कोई बार्गेनिंग नहीं करी, कोई सेल परचेज नहीं हो रही है यहाँ पर. तो एक ओनर के बेस पर उनको कुछ पेमेंट दे दिया, आने जाने का खर्चा दे दिया, बोलने का खर्चा दे दिया कुछ. So that is called honorarium. So it is a revenue income for us if we are receiving it, and if we are paying it, it is our expense. It will depend. Normally it will be an expense because we are inviting number of persons for delivering lecture. Now this we will do later. We are coming to this. According to my opinion, you can easily do a questions up to illustration number 7. I am coming to illustration number 8 because I have covered all the concepts up to illustration number 7. Even if there will be any doubt, I will take it later. Barakatullah, this is not a matter of discussion. Okay, this is not good that you are asking such things. You know? Please, I am just taking it as an example. Sayyam Khatun, which example you are interested to be repeated? Sir, interest test is revenue. Entrance fees is a capital income. What is groundsman sell fees? Groundman means basically these organizations are also running cricket, managing cricket. क्या कहते हैं उसे हम? Stadiums, cricket stadiums, badminton stadiums. Because those stadiums are also managed by some type of organizations which are running not for profit. So they are paying some salary, some payment to the groundmans whomsoever person have been appointed to manage those stadiums or those grounds. So that is a revenue expense. If you receive investment on building fund, investment on building fund investment is a capital, is a asset that will be shown in asset side. And simultaneously this will be shown as a liability side in balance sheet. Good. Illustration number 8, receipt and payment account is given to you. You have to prepare income and expenditure account and balance sheet. This type of question will come to you as a big question, as a 20 marks question or 15 marks question in your exam. 16 marks means. Okay, let's do this question. After this, we will have to go for a break. The following was the receipt and payment account of X club. Okay, so this is the receipt and payment account. Let it be very much clear. This is just like a trial balance, because whatever amount is paid by us, that is shown in trial balance. Whatever amount is received by us, that is shown in trial balance. Simultaneously, this is very much clear. Whatever amounts are given here, that meant for those are received, actually received or paid by us during the year. So whenever any amount is to be entered in income and expenditure account, we know it very well. Income and expenditure account is always prepared on due basis, not on not on not on cash basis. Okay. So let's start with this. So I'm going to discuss about the receipt side first. But before that, I would like to discuss with you the adjustment, whatever is given to us. Adjustments are regarding subscription due, amount due for printing. So it means for we have to edit our subscription, whatever is given to us, amount due for printing. So printing expenses will also be adjusted. Checks unpresented being payment for repair. So this is repair expense, which is also to be adjusted. Estimated value of machinery and equipment. So this is the value of assets which are given to you. This is for the purpose of calculating depreciation if we have to. Interest not yet entered in passbook. Bonus to groundman outstanding. So this will be adjusted. The honorarium to the secretary and treasurer are to be increased by 200. Prepare the income and expenditure account balance sheet for the year ending 31st of March 2020. So I think it will be better if you will do it personally. If you will check it out, it will not be a good option. If you will do it on your copies, you will better understand it. So let's start with that. Whenever we have to do it, because if I'll do one question for you, it will be easy for you to understand it in the future. So due to that reason, I am doing it. Like if we have to prepare income and expenditure account, one thing I'll do, whatever calculations are to be made to be in working note, I'll do it here. I'll not do that in working note. Instead, I'll do one thing. I've arranged some space for that. Here I'll calculate that. So if it is possible, otherwise I'll do it here. So in future, the presentation of ICI module is best. So you may go for that, because if I'll go for the presentation as well as calculation, both it will be difficult, because in that case we need sufficient time for that, which is not available with us. So let's start. Cash in hand will not be entered in your cash in hand or balance at bank. These are not to be entered in income and expenditure account. So we will leave these. it will be a matter of balance sheet. It will not be entered in income and expenditure account. So this is not entered. Bank interest. Yeah, bank interest is our income. This is of rupees 30. What he says, if you will see, interest not yet entered in passbook, rupees 20. So this is opening or closing? Here he has mentioned closing, March 31, 2020. So 20 rupees interest is already earned by us, but not actually received to us. So whenever we have to pass by bank interest 30 rupees plus accrued, because whatever is not entered in passbook, that means for this income is earned at the end of the year but not yet received, so this will be entered as by accrued income. Donation and subscription 2600, that is given to you. With that, some adjustment is also given to you. See that only opening and closing due is given to you. Due means for outstanding or accrued, whatever the name you may use. Due means for outstanding or accrued. So it is an accrued income, opening 150, 100, closing. Nothing is given regarding pre-received. So 150 opening, 100 closing. Let's do it. So by subscription 2600 plus due is given to you, due at the end. So the word whatever he has given, we will use that. Due at end, that is to be added. Due at beginning is to be deducted beta. Receipt from T is 300. So by from T is 300. So this has been entered. This has been entered. Contribution to fairs 100. Nothing is given regarding this. Sale of equipment 80. Contribution to fairs 100 by see anything is given regarding sale of equipment. Regarding equipment, something is given like here, moving machine 1500, that is given to you. Repair to equipment is not to be treated as a capital. It will not be registered. It is a capital expense. It is a revenue expense, sorry. Sale of equipment is given to you. But book value of the equipment sold is not given to you. So nothing is to be done for this. So sale of equipment is our income. But this is a capital income. So it will not be entered here. It is a capital income. It will not be entered. Keep it into your mind. It is not a revenue income. Net proceed of variety entertainment. Now, what is variety entertainment? Try to understand it. Any information is given regarding variety entertainment. He says variety means different type of varieties. So we are running here a club. So in club, entertainment is a routine part. So is there any specific fund for the entertainment? Keep it into your mind. If it is, we will have to treat it as a capital payment. Otherwise, it is a revenue payment or revenue income. So nothing is given regarding this. If you see the whole question, nothing is given regarding this. So this net proceed of variety entertainment is our income. नेट प्रोसीड, राइटिंग की दिक्कत आ रही है यहाँ पर, थोड़ा लिखने में मुश्किल आ रही है मुझे. You need not to worry. If it is okay, then good. Otherwise, I'll write it once again. Yes. By so variety एंटरटेनमेंट से आपको जो इनकम आई है वो आपने डाल दी यहाँ पर. Then donation for forthcoming tournament. So this is a specific income. If you will see, donation for forthcoming tournament. So is there any particular expense for it? Like cost of teas is also given to you. So if teas are entered here, receipt from teas, then and the contribution to fares is entered here, then whatever fares are paid that will also be entered here. उसको भी डालना पड़ेगा हमें. अब यहाँ पर वो कह रहा है फोर्थ कमिंग टूर्नामेंट आपका आ रहा है, उस टूर्नामेंट के लिए आप लोगों ने कुछ डोनेशन इकट्ठी करी है. सो दिस इज आल्सो ए कैपिटल रिसीट, बट टूर्नामेंट इज नॉट ए कैपिटल एक्सपेंस. सो वट एवर अमाउंट इज रिसीव्ड फॉर टूर्नामेंट दैट विल बी एंटर्ड हियर एज ए कैपिटल रिसीट. Yes. Variety entertainment हो गया. Now, I have not checked it. This is a point. Receipt from teas is given to you simultaneously. Cost of tea is also given to you. If any cost of tea is given, that is to be deducted from it. And net income will be, net profit will be entered there. And fares also, receipt from contribution to fares, and any fares expense will also be deducted from it. So contribution fare is 100, whereas if we'll see, then contribution to fare is 100 and fare expenses are 400. So expenses are more. Accordingly, it will be entered. Expenses of fares, that is 400 minus contribution 100. This you have to check it out once. For that, you must have to read receipt and payment account at the beginning. Only then you can do it better. Otherwise, it will be just like now, the error which has been done by us. You may also repeat it. Otherwise, 250 is the cost of teas minus cost of teas. So it will be 50. 300 minus 250. So that will be entered here. I mean, this is a way, item by item, you will have to enter. That I am interested to tell you, nothing else. Donation for forthcoming tournament is not to be entered here. So it will be kept pending because it will go to capital item. Now do one thing. Let's do the expenses side. What I'll do expenses side here and show that you in your income and expenditure account in your solution, you may write it down in your copies. You will have to continue with the same performer. I'll not do that because in that case, time is more consumed and I'm not able to cover that in a proper time. Groundman's fees 750. Here, one adjustment is given regarding this. That is 300 rupees. So 300 rupees will be added in it and it will become 750 plus 300. He says bonus to groundman outstanding. So he has shown it elsewhere, but you may add it. Groundman's fees 750 और उसके साथ ही लिख सकते हो आप bonus to groundman outstanding. This is outstanding amount. Must write outstanding with it, otherwise it will be a problem. Because this will also go to balance sheet. You must know that if it is outstanding, it will go to balance sheet also, liability side. If you will write here bonus to groundman, then you will not enter it in balance sheet. That will be a problem. So write here outstanding. Okay. Is it clear? Coming back. Moving machine, it is an asset. It will not be shown. This has been entered. This will not be shown. This will go to balance sheet. Rent of ground. This is an expense, 250 rupees. Enter it in your income and expenditure account. Any adjustment regarding this? No. Rent is entered 250 as it is. Then cost of tea is already entered. So this is entered, this is entered, fares is already entered, printing and office expenses 280, make an adjustment in it. Printing and office expenses. Amount due for printing 180. Tell me what to do. अब आप निकाल के मुझे बताओगे कितनी अमाउंट इनकम एंड एक्सपेंडिचर अकाउंट में जाएगी प्रिंटिंग की. यू विल हैव टू कैलकुलेट एंड टेल मी प्रिंटिंग एंड ऑफिस एक्सपेंसेस कैसे कैलकुलेट करोगे, प्लस क्या करोगे माइनस क्या करोगे. फास्ट भेजना है, टाइम नहीं लगाना. सर ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ करंट अकाउंट एंड मूविंग मशीन. वेट एंड वॉच बेटा, आफ्टर द ब्रेक दैट वी विल डिस्कस. फेयर माइनस कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ फेयर इज राइट बेटा. सेल ऑफ इक्विपमेंट इज कैपिटल इनकम. एग्जैक्टली बेटा. इन्वेस्टिगेशन नंबर 8 इन रिसीट. क्या रिसीट? राघव शाह. Yeah, it will be 280 plus outstanding at the end, that is 80 minus 100, so it will be 260. See here it is 260. Is it clear? 80 will be added, 100 will be deducted, it is 260. Exactly right. Shabash. Number of students have sent the answer. Those who have sent, congratulations to them that they are doing it correctly. Repair to equipment 500. Repair checks unpresented being payment for repair. What means for checks unpresented beta? Checks unpresented means for the amount is not yet paid. If check is not yet presented for payment, that means for amount is not yet paid. If amount is not yet paid, that means for amount is outstanding. If amount is outstanding, what do you have to do with that? It is 500 repair to equipment. What you will do? 500, it will be treated just like outstanding expense beta. So what is the treatment of outstanding? That is well known to everyone. Outstanding expense. Because we will assume that the balance given to us is 100% correct. So checks unpresented means for payment is not yet made, because we have issued the check, but that person has not presented it for payment. In that case, we will take the bank balance as per bank, because this has not been presented in bank. So this will be added 260 and 300 will be deducted. $500 plus 260 minus that 460 will be the answer. Honorarium to secretary and treasurer are of 2019, not of the current year. So this will not be entered in income and expenditure account. But he says the honorarium to the secretary and treasurer are to be increased by a total of rupees 200. Last year they have been paying honorarium of 400, but this was the last year honorarium which has been paid in current year. But he says that the honorarium of 400 rupees of last year is paid in current year. So obviously this will not be entered in income and expenditure account because this belongs to last year. Now what is the honorarium of current year? In 2020, he says whatever the honorarium we have paid in 2019, that is 400 rupees, has been increased by rupees 200. That means for actual honorarium of 2020 is 600 rupees, out of which zero amount is paid. That means for whole amount is outstanding. So outstanding for 2020 is 600. So by logic, you have to do one thing. You may enter 600 rupees directly as a outstanding honorarium, or you may treat it like this: 400 is the amount given in trial balance minus outstanding at beginning, which is 400, plus outstanding at end, which is 600, and finally the amount of 600 will come to be entered in income and expenditure. There are two logics. One is this, second is this. Go by any method. Nishant Gupta, you are sending it many times without any query. Stop sending it, Nishant Gupta. So I think this is clear to you. No, see any amount, any adjustment if left, which is to be entered in income and expenditure account. This has been done, this has been done, this has been done. This is not yet done. So this is to be shown, checked. Interest already done, bonus done, honorarium done. So one thing is not done, that is machinery and equipment. Let's prepare machinery and equipment account or make adjustment. It is better to prepare account because this is always a better option if you will go for an asset account. So to prepare asset account, 4 transactions are there. One is opening balance, second is closing balance, third is purchase made by us during the year, that is 1500 rupees. Sale made by us during the year 80. Assumed the value of the asset which has been sold is also 80. Means there is no profit, no loss. So let's calculate depreciation if there is any. That may be by preparing an account, or you may do it by way of calculation also. It is up to your choice. I may give you both. This is machinery and equipment. Machinery and equipment account. Easy ways to balance brought down 800. Okay, buy balance carried down 1750. Whenever we purchase any asset account debit to bank or cash 1500 rupees. Whenever we sell any asset, buy cash oblique bank 80 rupees. So is there any balance figure? If it is, that means for there is one more transaction, that is called depreciation. $470 is the amount of depreciation. I think this is clear to everyone. In balance sheet, what we will do? In balance sheet, we will discuss. I am not going to tell you, Abhinav. Wait and watch. Current account is a balance of bank account. So bank account balance is not entered in income and expenditure account. Let it be very much clear. Deposition not clear. Now it is clear, better deposition. Honorarium part, please explain. Honorarium is very simple. He says honorarium was 400 rupees for 2019, which has been outstanding for that year, hence paid in 2020. So this is the opening outstanding which has been paid during the year. Now what we have to do, we know it very well. Whatever amount is given to us, we have to deduct from his outstanding at beginning. That is 400. Now outstanding at end, if there is any. He says for 2020 honorarium is increased by rupees 200 in comparison to 2019. So means for honorarium for the 2020 is 600 rupees, which is not yet paid. So this is to be added. This is amount to be transferred to income and expenditure. One logic. Second logic is very much clear. This honorarium is for 2019, and in income and expenditure account we have to enter only the current year expenses. We are not recording any expense which belongs to last year or next year. So this will not be entered in income and expenditure account. In income and expenditure, we will enter only expenses of current year. So what is the expense of current year? He says in current year, we have to pay honorarium of 400 plus 200, मीन्स वट एवर honorarium was, जैसे मेरी सैलरी मान लो पिछले साल 4,000 रुपए है, तो अगले साल वो कह रहा है आपको 2,000 बढ़ा के देंगे, तो अगले साल की सैलरी क्या होगी 6,000. इसी तरह वो कह रहा है कि honorarium जो है उनका पिछले साल जितना था उससे 200 बढ़ा के देंगे. पिछले साल उनका था 400 रुपया, तो इस साल उनका honorarium कितना हो जाएगा 600 रुपया. तो करंट ईयर का खर्चा हमने डालना है, वेदर पेड और नॉट, चाहे हमने पे किया है चाहे नहीं पे किया, वो डालना ही डालना है इनकम एंड एक्सपेंडिचर अकाउंट में, इसलिए डाल दिया बेटा. वाई इज करंट अकाउंट नॉट टेकन इन बैलेंस शीट? बेटा लेंगे, मैं तो लूंगा, घबरा क्यों रहे हो? सेकंड इफेक्ट सर फॉर ओनेरियम, यस इट विल गो टू बैलेंस शीट बिकॉज दिस इज आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेंस, सो इट विल गो टू बैलेंस शीट. बेटा केशव, बैलेंस शीट की बातें बाकी मैं ज्यादा कर नहीं रहा क्योंकि अभी बैलेंस शीट में मैं आऊंगा आफ्टर द ब्रेक. हैव अ ब्रेक, देन वी विल गो फॉर द बैलेंस शीट. सर ब्रेक लें. Welcome back after the break. I think whatever we have discussed, that is clear. If there is any doubt, tell me. Send me the doubt if there is any. We'll start with the balance sheet now. Okay, depreciation is not clear to someone. Depreciation. So see how depreciation is carried. This is an asset account, beta. In asset account, first of all, basically these are the basic concepts. This you have already done in chapter depreciation in +1 or in CA foundation. In that you have prepared asset account. Depreciation is only 470 rupees, beta, that I have calculated for you. To balance brought down is 800. To bank, that is purchases made by us during the year. Then this is sale by us during the year. This is closing balance that is given to us during the year at the end of the year. So whatever is the balance figure, that is depreciation, it is 470, not 2300. Depreciation is a balance figure here. It is not calculated as a percentage. So this is a concept of preparing account. If you know how to pass journal entries, how to prepare accounts, then you can do it easily. This is a concept of accounting, that whenever any asset account is there or whenever any ledger account is there, it must have some opening balance. If it have some opening balance, then it will be brought down. To balance brought down, that is the 800 rupees opening balance. Then whatever purchases are made by us during the year, that is machinery account debit to bank account. The entry is there. Then whenever we will sell any asset, that the entry will be as cash account debit to asset account, that entry is passed. Then closing balance is given to you, that will be a buy balance carried on, which is to be carried forward to the next year. So balance figure is this 470. Is that clear? It has given 600 as on 31st March. It means it is outstanding. Then its second effect will be in liability side of balance sheet. Exactly, beta. Keshav, you are right. But opening honorarium on 1st April is 500 in the balance sheet. How? I have not seen the balance sheet. Just I'll see it with you. Okay. Let's do it now. Coming to the balance sheet part is not discussed by us earlier. So first I would like to discuss with you how to prepare the balance sheet. What is the concept of preparing balance sheet? Yeah, that is given to you on page number 9.11, beta. In 9.11, they have given you the concept of balance sheet. No, balance sheet is just like same as we have done it in our previous chapter. Not a big difference is there. The major difference is just regarding the capital fund. Instead of capital, we will name it as capital fund. Instead of adding profit in it, we will call it as a surplus, which is to be added to capital fund. Also, if any capital receipt is there, which is not for a specific purpose, but it is a capital receipt, like entrance fees, life membership fees, special donation, then it will be added to capital fund. Instead of writing it separately in balance sheet, we will add it to capital fund. So capital fund has some special impact and importance in this balance sheet part. So if you'll see capital fund, then it will be treated like this: opening balance, whatever is given to you, plus any special fund, a special capital receipt, special receipt, I can say, that will be better word. Any special receipt that will be added to it, plus surplus, it will be added. Drawings is not there because drawings is not a part of income and expenditure account. In case of not for profit organizations, any amount, no amount can be withdrawn for personal purpose. So drawings will never comes to us in this case. So this will go to the closing balance sheet. Now from where this opening balance will come? If it is given in the trial, given to us in the information, then it is very good. If it is not given, then to calculate the capital fund at the beginning, we will have to prepare opening balance sheet. We'll have to prepare opening balance sheet. To calculate opening capital fund, we'll have to prepare opening balance sheet, or you can say a statement of affairs as on the opening date. And that in that we will calculate capital fund as a balance sheet figure. We know it very well if we'll enter all assets and liabilities in balance sheet, then automatically what will be the balance figure? That will be the capital fund. So we can get it. If capital fund or surplus in the beginning of the year is not given, it is calculated by deducting liabilities from assets in the beginning of the year. So it may be by preparing opening balance sheet, or we may do simply assets, opening assets minus opening liabilities. Opening balance of capital fund. It will be more easy because in this case no pro forma is required. If it is not demanded specifically, then you need not to prepare a proper opening balance sheet. You may just do this: total assets at the beginning minus total liabilities at the beginning. Whatever is the difference, that will be capital fund, opening capital fund. That we can easily get it. Note it down. Special subscription is not a point. Normally, no such special subscription is given in the question. Subscription is only simple, but if it is, then it will go to balance sheet capital fund. Then cash and bank balance. So these cash and bank balances are disclosed in the receipt and payment account. Whatever the opening cash and bank balance, that will go to opening capital fund, means that will be used for calculating opening capital fund. Whatever closing cash and bank balance, that will go to closing capital. If there is overdraft, it will be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. Fixed asset opening balance will be used for calculating your opening capital fund. Closing will be shown in closing balance sheet. Remaining is same. Not too much difference is there. Let's go and prepare that particular question. Prepare balance sheet and that question, illustration number 8. I would like to discuss it first of all, then we will do it. In this case, whether opening capital fund is given to you. See, here it is. No, opening capital fund is not given to you. So first of all, you have to prepare opening capital fund. Easy way is you may prepare it by way of a statement of affairs, or by way of because otherwise calculation is somehow lengthy and tough, because we are fond of preparing balance sheet. So that he has done, he has prepared opening balance sheet. So it may be named as statement of affair also. If it is not specifically demanded balance sheet, then we may write it as statement of affairs. In that, enter all assets, whatever is available with you, all liabilities, balance sheet figure will be the capital fund. So see which will be entered here. See, from the receipt and payment account is given to you. So this will go to opening capital fund, opening cash in hand. You may check, you may do it at your copy, or you may check it out as per your choice. Better you may do it roughly in your copies, it will be better for you. Opening balance sheet you may have to prepare, which may be named as statement of affair also. Cash in hand डाल दो उसमें 100 rupees. Deposit balance at bank you have to enter. Deposit account, current account. Deposit means for FD. So we have an opening FD of 2230. Simultaneously balance in our current account. As we know, in our business we have to open only current account. We can't open saving account for that. So there are two accounts, both are our bank account. So this will go to opening balance sheet. Okay, out of this, yeah, nothing else relates to it. Then see, here it is, honorarium to secretary. This is very much clear that this honorarium was outstanding at the beginning of the year. So this is the opening liability. And go to liability side of your opening balance sheet, 400 rupees. You may enter it also simultaneously. आप स्पीड से इसको एंटर भी कर सकते हो। जैसे अगर आप कहो तो मैं करके भी दिखा देता हूँ यहाँ पर। मीन्स ये आपकी लाइबिलिटीज हो जाएंगी, ये आपके एसेट्स हो जाएंगे। मैं रफली कर देता हूँ, तभी आप करोगे मुझे पता है, अदरवाइज इतने आप जोर लगाने वाले नहीं हो। 100 आ गया, 2230 आ गया, 600 आ गया, ठीक है। उसके बाद 400 आ गया लाइबिलिटी साइड में। चलो, इसके बाद ये एडजस्टमेंट में आपको पता लग रहा है, सब्सक्रिप्शन आ गई ओपनिंग 150। ये क्या है, लाइबिलिटी है कि एसेट है? सब्सक्रिप्शन का मतलब होता है इनकम, जो इनकम हमारी ओपनिंग डेट को हमारी लेने वाली हो, लोगों से हमने पैसे लेने हैं, दैट इज अवर एसेट। सो 150 इज अवर एसेट, 100 इज अवर लाइबिलिटी, 300 इज अवर लाइबिलिटी। 150 एसेट, 100 इज अ लाइबिलिटी, 300 इज अ लाइबिलिटी। मशीनरी आपकी 800 रुपीज की एसेट पड़ी है आपके पास। खुद बनाओगे ना अपने हाथ से बेटा तो एग्जाम में कर पाओगे, नहीं बनाओगे तो नहीं कर पाओगे, घर जाके भी नहीं कर पाओगे सॉल्व अगर यहाँ नहीं बनाओगे तो। इसलिए बना लो, बेटर रहेगा। सारे लोग बनाओ साथ साथ में, रफली बनाओ, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। नहीं बना सकते ज्यादा डिटेल में, कोई प्रॉब्लम। एक बार चेक कर लें उसने क्या डाला हुआ है, ताकि आपको समझ लग जाए कि हम लोगों ने सही किया है। ये देखो ओपनिंग बैलेंस शीट उसने बनाई हुई है ऑलरेडी, मैंने भी यही डाला है। देखो चेक कर लो, 100, 2230, 600, 150, 800, 600, 150, 800, ये 300 डाला हुआ उसने कैश इन करंट अकाउंट। मैंने 600 डाला है, ऐसा क्यों है देख लेते हैं अभी। दूसरी तरफ 400 और 100 मैंने डाला है, हाँ इन्होंने डाला है, हमने भी डाला है। 300 मैंने दूसरी तरफ डाला, हाँ ठीक है। मैंने 300 इधर डाल दिया, 600 इधर डाल दिया, तो उसने ये नेट करके डाला हुआ है। इतना ही फर्क है, और कोई फर्क नहीं है। बल्कि हमारा बेटर है, 3080 बैलेंस शीट फिगर आ गया। तो बैलेंस शीट फिगर आपकी आ गई 3080। सो दिस इज ओपनिंग कैपिटल फंड बैलेंस शीट फिगर। इसके बाद हमारा काम है क्लोजिंग बैलेंस शीट बनाना। क्लोजिंग बैलेंस शीट भी मैं रफली बना देता हूँ आपके लिए। चलो, इसमें भी डाल देते हैं, इसी तरह से डालेंगे सारा कुछ। स्पीड से बनानी है, समझ के बनानी है। तो सबसे पहले मैं रिसीट एंड पेमेंट अकाउंट को उठा रहा हूँ। इसमें मेरे पास सबसे पहले मुझे क्लोजिंग बैलेंस मिल जाता है यहाँ से बड़े आराम से, वो मैं ले लेता हूँ। 3090, 150 एंड 250, ये तीनों डाल दूंगा। 3090, 150 एंड 250। बैलेंस शीट करंट अकाउंट मस्ट बी 600 बट इट इज गिवन एज 300। दैट इज रॉन्ग बेटा, उसने व्हाट ही हैज डन, ही हैज मेड इट नेट। तो वो गलत ही है, सही बात है, हमने ठीक कर दिया। सर आई प्रिपेयर्ड द बैलेंस शीट ऑन माय ओन एंड गेट द ओपनिंग फंड, वेरी गुड, शाबाश। So can we write cost of T in expenditure side instead of deducting from? No, that is not allowed. We have to deduct it. Whatever specific expense is there, that must be deducted from specific income, and this can be done only in cases of revenue expenses or revenue type, which are small in name, which are relating to some capital things. For that, you will have to go for only funding system. So, Honorium 100 plus 400y. See, will prepare it. चलो, अभी हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं, ये तो हो गया, कैश इन डाल दिया हमने। अब एक बार देखते हैं इसमें और क्या क्या है जो हमें डालना है। शुरू से देखते हैं, रिसीट साइड से। चेक इट आउट फ्रॉम द रिसीट साइड। ओके ओके ओके, बैंक इंटरेस्ट नो प्रॉब्लम, डोनेशन, रिसीट, कंट्रीब्यूशन टू फेयर, सेल ऑफ, ये आ गया। डोनेशन फॉर फोर्थ कमिंग टूर्नामेंट, दिस इज अ स्पेसिफिक डोनेशन विच हैज बीन रिसीव्ड टू अस। इफ एनी स्पेसिफिक डोनेशन इज रिसीव्ड टू अस, then that specific donation will remain as a fund, tournament fund. 1000 rupees will be shown in the balance sheet in liability side. Tournament fund, 1000 rupees, that will be shown in the balance sheet. Then groundman fees, revenue expenses already entered, repair to expand honorarium, balance at bank, all that is done. Now subscription due, 100 rupees. This is our asset, 100. This is our liability, 80 and 260. So enter 100 in the asset side, 80 and 260 in the liability side. Estimated value of machinery is 1750, asset side. $20 is also our asset, income due but not received. 300 is our liability, 20 is an asset, 300 is our liability. Honorarium to the secretary to be increased by a total of rupees 200. So honorarium is already discussed. This is 600 rupees our liability. That's it. Now we'll come to capital fund and surplus. So capital fund will be added here. Capital fund is 3080 plus surplus is to be added. How much is the surplus, beta? Check from the income and expenditure account. Surplus is excess of income over expenditure. We will write here surplus or excess of income over expenditure. If it is in credit side, then write by excess of expenditure over income or deficit. That may be called deficit or expense over income. 40 rupees. Check it out whether balance sheet tallies or not. I think it must tally. Hmm. Five, 360. 5360. अपनी तो बैलेंस शीट टैली कर गई. So have a party, enjoy it. 5360 is the total of balance sheet. I don't know why he is taking this amount, why he is taking this amount. It is better, you may do like this, bus. If it is surplus तो liability side क्यों आया? बेटा प्रॉफिट कहाँ आता है? Profit is always coming in liability side. Why? Because this is the income on capital. What is surplus? Surplus is an income earned by the person who has invested in capital fund. So further liability will more increase. Liability will further increase. जो लोग पैसा लगा जिससे सोर्स, जो हमारा सोर्स है, ये सोर्सेज ऑफ फंड्स होता है. पैसा जो आता है हमारे पास, चाहे लोन है, चाहे कैपिटल है, चाहे कहीं से पैसा आ रहा है, वो सारा लायबिलिटी साइड में आता है. जो एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फंड्स है वो कहाँ जाते हैं? एसेट साइड में. तो ये एप्लीकेशन नहीं है बेटा, सरप्लस जो है ये सोर्सेज ऑफ फंड्स है. आई थिंक दिस इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स. बैलेंस शीट इंस्टीट्यूट हैव टेकन ऑल नेट वैल्यूज. वो इंस्टीट्यूट की कर दिया. देखो वो व्यू पॉइंट इंस्टीट्यूट का नहीं है, वो इंस्टीट्यूट के उस टीचर का है जिसने वो नोट्स बनाए हैं. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टेल यू कि हाँ जी भैया ये इंस्टीट्यूट कह रहा है तो वो गलत है. दिस इज द ओनली राइट वे वट एवर आई हैव गिवन टू यू. रिमेनिंग जो भी वे आउट है वो सब गलत है. ठीक है ना. और वे आउट को मैं किसी को सही नहीं मानता, बिकॉज इसके बिना अगर आप कुछ और मेथड लगाओगे तो यू विल बी अनएबल टू सॉल्व इट इन एग्जाम. एंड वी थिंक, I think that is only correct, whatever we can solve in our exam easily. Beta Gunjan, there's no worry. If your balance sheet is not matching with the module, your balance sheet must be tallied, and that we have done. They have prepared balance sheet by making many amounts as net amounts, which is not correct. We must have to give everything in detail. It is required. So that is a viewpoint of a particular teacher, particular author who has written that module. So you need not to worry. You may do it like this, beta. Is that clear? Now tell me whether balance sheet is clear to everyone. Having any doubt? किसी को बैलेंस शीट में कोई डाउट है तो मुझे बताओ. सर नॉन प्रॉफिट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के क्वेश्चन करने में मजा आता है. ये आप शायद फर्स्ट स्टूडेंट्स होंगे, जो आप फर्स्ट ग्रुप होगा ऐसा दुनिया में जो ये बात कह रहा होगा कि मजा आ रहा है. नहीं तो नॉन प्रॉफिट को लोग डिफिकल्ट मानते थे. ओके, so this is the god gift that I am able to listen from you this word, that this is very easy. This is assumed as a most typical chapter in +1 +2 or wherever it comes. जिस भी क्लास में आज तक ये आया है ना, normally people have assumed this is the most toughest chapter, but my opinion is nothing is typical. So sir, closing balance sheet isn't clear. Beta, just tell me what is your doubt. 100 और 400 का डाउट है बेटा, that is wrong. Arshdeep, whatever is given in module, that is wrong. You have to do it like this. Okay, those who are in doubt regarding any point in this illustration number 8, I'd like to help them by this way. Closing balance sheet बनाने का तरीका क्या? What is the process? Very simple. You have to take all closing assets. So here in the balance sheet, in the receipt and payment account, only donation for forthcoming tournament is a specific fund. It will go to balance sheet. Okay. In addition to that, there are closing balances given to you. These are the 3 closing balances: deposit account, current account, cash in hand. It will go to balance sheet. Okay. Then 31st March 2020 के जितने balances given है, they will go to closing balance sheet. 100, 80, 260, whatsoever is your asset and liability, that you may check. 1750, 20 and 300 that I have entered. Very easy बेटा, बहुत easy है. उसके बाद कह रहा है the honorarium to the secretary and treasurer are to be increased by a total of rupees 200. I think many of you have studied from very good schools also. From very good schools means very good English medium schools. Otherwise all schools are very good. तो आप लोग इसकी हिंदी करके अपने आप बता दो ये सही है कि गलत है. कि वो ये कह रहा है ना कि ऑनरेरियम जो है वो 200 रुपए से बढ़ा देना है पिछले साल के मुकाबले में. तो पिछले साल में कितना था? 400. अब कितना करना है? 600. हमने कर दिया बस, और तो कुछ भी नहीं किया हमने. मैंने कोई बेटा गलत नहीं कुछ करवाया जिससे आपको डाउट हो. एवरीथिंग इज ओके, यू नीड नॉट टू वरी, जस्ट डू इट. अब ये क्यों कर रहा है, ऐसे क्यों, कैसे कर रहा है, वो मैं बता सकता हूँ, बट उसके बताने से आपको कंफ्यूजन हो जाएगी, इसलिए नहीं बता रहा मैं आपको. आपको क्या जरूरत है अपनी मेहनत करने. ये दिया तो है 600 तो दिया क्लोजिंग बैलेंस, क्लोजिंग ऑनरेरियम. कौन कह रहा है कि 500 दिया भैया? ये जो दिया है 100 कह रहे हो आप. ओ हो, कितने यार आप लोग समझदार हो. थोड़ा सा मेहनत तो करो. ये देखो उसने इन दोनों को ऐड कर दिया ना बेटा, और क्या किया उसने? ये 400 और 100 ओपनिंग बैलेंस शीट में. अब 400 कौन सा था? आप सभी को पता ये रहा जो आउटस्टैंडिंग था ऑनरेरियम, हमें पता था ना, ये हमने डाल दिया. 100 रुपीज कौन सा और ये ऑनरेरियम उसने इसमें ऐड कर दिया. ये किया अमाउंट ड्यू फॉर प्रिंटिंग 100 रुपीज. वो एक्सपेंस है, आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेंस, वो गलती से ऑनरेरियम में ऐड कर दिया उसने. वो तो उसकी गलती है ना. अब उसकी गलती को भी आप ठीक करने की कोशिश करो, मानने की कोशिश करोगे तो आपकी गलती है. लिखा तो है, अच्छा भला तो लिखा है, आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेंसेस एंड ऑनरेरियम, दोनों को ऐड कर दिया उसने लिख के. और क्या किया? कुछ भी नहीं किया. ऐसे ही कंफ्यूज होते जा रहे हो भैया. weightage of this chapter is 10, minimum 5 marks question, otherwise it may go for 15 to 20 marks question. क्लोजिंग बैलेंस नहीं लिया है, that is of cash in and deposits and current. लिया है बेटा मैंने तो. नहीं लिया है, मैंने तो लिया है बेटा. ये रहा, इतना बड़ा बड़ा तो लिया है, लिखा तो हुआ है बेटा. ये रहा 3090, 150 और 250. ये क्लोजिंग बैलेंस ही है विच आई हैव टेकन. ठीक है. मशीनरी या इक्विपमेंट इन क्लोजिंग बैलेंस शीट ले लिया. ठीक है. एक्सप्लेन बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट. इफ बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट आएगा तो इसको लाइबिलिटी साइड में डाल देना. मशीनरी कैसे 1750 आई क्लोजिंग बैलेंस में, बेटा दैट इज गिवन टू यू, they have already given it, you can't challenge their wordings. They have already mentioned that on 31st of March 2020, on 31st of March 2020, estimated value of machinery and equipment is 1750. Is that clear? सर करंट अकाउंट नेट लेते हैं क्या? नो, करंट अकाउंट पूरा लेंगे जितना दिया हुआ मैंने उतना ही लिया, कहीं पर कोई नेट नहीं लेना, कुछ भी नहीं है बेटा, जान के इन्होंने टिपिकल सा बना दिया है, आपने इजी सा करना है ही कुछ नहीं इसमें। वो तो सॉल्यूशन देने के टाइम पर आपको देखना है कि बच्चे के लिए इजी कैसे हो सकता है, तो इजी कर लो, उसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम है। चलो अभी का तो आज का तो टाइम ओवर हो गया है, हम लोग एक काम करते हैं, आप ये सारी इलस्ट्रेशन एक बार करो, अच्छी तरह से करो, दिल से करो, जो मैंने कंसेप्ट दिए हैं बेसिक्स दिए हैं उनको मान के करो, प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चंस करके आओ, ठीक है। मैं आप लोगों की हेल्प करूंगा पूरी, हम लोग इसको चैप्टर में जो भी आपके डाउट्स आएंगे वो भी रिव्यू करेंगे, कुछ टॉपिक्स भी करेंगे, जैसे एक लास्ट टॉपिक दिया हुआ है इसमें, वो भी आप चाहे ना छेड़ना, वो मैं करवा दूंगा, आई विल डू इट फॉर यू। उसके अलावा एमसीक्यूज भी करो आप इसके सारे, डू ऑल practical questions, MCQs and everything. Whatever the doubts will be there, I'll take it out on Tuesday. So next lecture will be on Tuesday for the same chapter. करंट अकाउंट नेट लेते हैं क्या, मूविंग मशीन बैलेंस शीट में क्यों नहीं आई? बेटा मूविंग मशीन इज अ पार्ट ऑफ मशीनरी एंड इक्विपमेंट्स दैट हैज ऑलरेडी बीन टेकन इन मशीनरी एंड इक्विपमेंट्स लाइक दिस. See here it is. This is the opening balance given to you. That is a part of, that is a purchase of moving machine. Moving machine is a purchase. So purchase never comes into balance sheet. In balance sheet we have to enter the closing balance only, because this 1750 includes this 1500. Because closing balance is given. If closing balance is given, then what is receipt and payment account? Receipt and payment account tells us only the purchases made by us during the year, beta. Okay, so this is the purchase. This will go to only machinery account, not to the balance sheet. Okay, जैसे ये कैश बुक में जाता है ना, बाकी सारा करके आओ बेटा, we'll discuss it in the next lecture. Okay then, thank you very much, we'll see you in the next lecture.